How's it going, everyone? I wanted to make a quick video to show other players some tips on how to be successful in 1v1s and or pretty much just win all of them. This is the strategy that I use when I do 1v1s, and it's always helped me out. So what I recommend doing is always playing on a very symmetrical map. Gridlock's my favorite. I think it's the easiest. So if you have the opportunity to pick the layout for a 1v1 gridlock, and definitely do execution. Some people out there play team deathmatch, and I don't know why they do that. That's incredibly unfair when it comes to 1v1s for obvious reasons, because they just get the first kill off you, or you get the first kill off them, and now they have the best vantage point on the map. So you always want the whole round to reset after each kill. So execution. Then of course you'd want to go to competitive tuning, because core is, it's just not good for 1v1s. It's just too strong. I usually do first to 5. I mean, I think that's fair. A lot of people want to do more. You can do more if you want, but I think first to 5, honestly, if whoever gets to 5 first wins, then I think that's fair to say that they win. Definitely get rid of all map weapons. When you're doing a 1v1, this just isn't fair. Otherwise it just turns into a battle of who gets the most OP map weapon. So I usually just change all these to Lancers or Nashers or snub-nosed pistols just for ammo. That'll just get rid of them if you want. Alright, and then let's just start the match, and I can show you some other tips. Of course it wants me to have a player. I would like to add that you should take this video with a grain of salt. Obviously, if you're playing against someone who's way better than you, you're probably still going to lose, but if you're playing against someone who's even remotely a bit better than you, if you follow these tips, you are really going to have a good chance of beating them. So if you manage to get Gridlock to be your map, which I think is the best map for 1v1s, coming out of spawn, I would pull out your pistol, and then right as soon as you pass this truck, active reload it, and what you want to do is run up these stairs and get where your body is being covered by this pillar. So from the opposite screen, you actually, the other player can't see you, but what you do from here is you're just going to shoot him as many times as you can. He's probably going to run into cover, and from that point on, I would sidestep out with your Lancer, and then Lancer, you're probably going to be in that cover right there. And then if they try to rush you, keep Lancering, and you'll probably down them. So that's something that's always worked for me. Keep in mind, that tip doesn't really work if you're not playing on Gridlock. But anyways, if that's the case, then I'll jump to some other tips that will help you. If you are playing Gridlock, I do recommend on this side following these exact steps, and then downing people would be so easy to do. One more thing, if they decide to jump back for whatever reason, like as soon as they start taking damage, and then they decide just to kind of leave and maybe go into like a different cover, I would just run up to this pillar, and this is going to be, I'll have to say there's two fundamental tips that that if you have to take any takeaways, it's two fundamental tips. Tip number 1, if you're doing 1v1s, play defensively. Tip number 2, which is just as important as the first one, is to have patience. He's going to try his absolute hardest to come out here and do exactly this, and swing his Nasher around and try to get you to Nasher battle him. And when you're doing 1v1s, the worst thing you can do is be aggressive, because the aggressive player will always lose 10 out of 10 times unless they're just a way better player than you. So what you want to do is you want to force them out of their comfort zone so they're no longer in cover. And this can take a long time. You can easily have players that they will just sit here exactly like I am up against cover, and they'll just sit for 3-4 minutes long, and I can guarantee you whoever decides to play patiently and defensively will always win. It's always worked for me. Alright, now when you find yourself in the same situation but on the opposite side, a trick that's really helped for me is to do this. Chances are both of you are going to end up on either side of cover. However, the opposite player will have the right side advantage, which can be intimidating. So what I would recommend doing, which helps, is when you're on this pillar right here, pull out your stub nose, get active reload, and what you'll want to do is aim down sights and then just pull back. And that's going to get you off of cover, but you're still aiming down sights on your left shoulder. So this is actually going to keep you in cover while allowing you to shoot out of cover. And what I would recommend doing is bait the player out by kind of just shooting around him. He's going to think, okay, he's got a snub out, let's rush him. And if that does happen, stay aiming down sights, and I want you just to go straight back, and don't move, don't go left or right, just go straight back. And then as soon as you drain your snub nose, you'll full clip. Let's pull him out of cover. What I would want to do is this exactly: aim down sights, get out of cover, and then just go straight back. And as soon as you drain that snub nose as much as you can, switch to your Nasher and still backpedal. Now, what can happen here that will cause you to die is if you pull out your snub nose and then you don't go straight back and you go left or right, and then you start strafing him in either direction, he's going to be able to sprint at you and probably body you with the Nasher. But if you go straight back and drain it, you should have enough to drain it all and keep going back, and you're keeping distance so he can't get that body off of you.
Oh, hell yeah!
And chances are you're probably going to down him before he even gets close to you. Now, I wanted to touch base a bit. I understand that everything I just explained were pretty specific scenarios, but like I said before, if you had to have two takeaways, just play defensively, stay in cover, and the second most important rule is be patient. Just stay in cover and just force your enemy out of cover, force him to be aggressive, and that's going to give you the upper hand 9 out of 10 out of times, or even 10 out of 10. I mean, I've been doing 1v1s for a long time, and I rarely ever lose them. It's not fun and it's not entertaining to sit there and draw your enemy out of cover, and they'll send you hate mail, you know, say, yo, you're a coward, all you do is camp, yada yada yada. But you know, if you're not doing this for fun, if you're doing this to win, play defensively, play patiently, and I can guarantee you'll be very successful with it. But like I said, I understand this is a very specific scenario, but on any map, if you can just get into a Nasher distance dueling with them and just stay in cover and just try and backpedal, and just try and get them to play aggressively, you should play a lot better. Oftentimes I see a lot of people who just run in there and then just try and Nasher battle and just have skill against skill. And you know, maybe you're a good enough player for that, but if you're trying to win for cred or bragging rights, if you're trying to win, play defensively and play patiently, and you will always win. It may take a while, but you'll definitely win. So I hope this tip helped you out a bit. If you wanted to send me a message on Xbox and you wanted to kind of practice, maybe I can kind of go over things a bit more thoroughly, I can do that for you guys. But